Hey, folks, my guest today is Adam Sandman. He founded Inflectra in 2006 and has been a programmer since the age of 10. Today, he serves as the company's CEO and is responsible for product strategy, technology innovation, and business development. The company helps you manage the entire software lifecycle. Adam, you ready to take us to the top?
Sure, absolutely. So Inflectra was founded really in 2006 to help companies of all sizes, improve their quality of their software development, software testing. At that time in the market, there weren't many products focused on the smaller and medium-sized businesses. A lot of tools for large companies, not a lot for the mid-size and again startup companies. So started the company in 2006 to provide that missing solution in the market. And as the market evolved, basically we've grown the company now to focus a lot more on more complex regulated industries and more complex business problems, providing quality, reliability, and compliance to customers in various different industries.
So, who are some of those customers, Adam?
The customers from large defense contractors, you probably don't know the names, large supply chain companies, banks, insurance companies, people like Cincinnati Insurance, people like Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, healthcare systems, hospitals, supply chain, food retailers, people who import bananas,
And Adam,
any kind of
what are
company.
these folks paying on average per year to use your technology?
The average deal size is about 10,000 a year. And
Okay.
we do a mixture of, and when we say SaaS, it's a mixture of on-premise and cloud-based, but it is recurring revenue. So we maintain both a traditional self-hosted option, but it's still subscription-based as well as a cloud-based offering.
And when you look at your total revenue from 2021, what percent was on-prem versus SaaS in the cloud?
Total revenue was 60% cloud, 40% on-prem. New business is more like 70-30, but we do retain and anticipate retaining a significant on-prem business.
Very interesting. And take me back to 2006. Do you remember the year you landed your first customer?
Yeah, well, the business was founded in 2006. The first customer didn't actually land until September 2007. So 2006, you found the company, start writing the software, released the first
You're
version
the
in
sole
February.
founder.
I'm sole founder, correct?
Do you still own 100%?
I do.
Oh, wow. That's rare. That's incredible. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. And those 9 months from January launching the first version to the first sale in September was the most nerve-wracking, probably in 15, 16, whatever it is years.
Amazing. I would probably agree with that. Okay. So, how many customers are you serving now today?
Currently today, 80,000 users for 5,000 paying customers.
5,000. Are they all paying at 10,000 bucks a year?
No, that's the average. I mean, it goes from like the 1,000 a year small customers up to the $150,000 a year larger customers, $200,000 a year type customers.
Well, I mean, but can we multiply 5,000 customers times $10,000 in ACV? You're doing about 50 million in annual revenue.
No, I would say it's not because again, it's not an average. The average is not weighted, so it's our revenue right now is just under 10 million.
Okay, that's still fantastic. Okay, and if revenue today is 10 million, what were you doing about exactly a year ago?
It was about, oh my goodness, 8 point something last year.
And so, where's that growth coming from? This is fantastic. You found a way to drive growth without having to go give up a bunch of equity.
Really, two main channels: the online channel, which has been our traditional channel, direct sales, online SEO, all the stuff you do online, and then we recently launched our partner channel. And this is something I would recommend anyone look at doing as a small company where you don't have a huge sales force. Launching a partner channel where you can bring in off balance sheet sales folks is really important.
Who is the partner?
These are partners, we consulting firms for the most part, because our software is used for development and testing. So companies that will do software testing and project management, they need tools. They're going to bring in clients to us, and so bringing in partners that can bring in the product. And a lot of times, independent consultants who move from client to client, they will sell the tool for us, but they're not actually employees. They're just simply freelancers and then consulting firms that need tools and are evangelists for us.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay. Yellow is what private equity. And red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise. They sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. Adam, you mentioned SEO is critical for you. Name a keyword that's driven you a bunch of great customers and traffic.
Requirements traceability is probably the number one.
Say it again.
Requirements traceability.
Interesting.
It's sufficiently long tail that it's not like testing software that everyone goes for, but it's not so obscure.
Yeah, that's super interesting. I'm curious right now. I'm going to look it up. Requirements traceability. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so yeah, you're number 3. This makes a lot of sense. Interesting. And this was intentional, right? So how do you go find other words like requirements traceability to go rank for to get free traffic?
So first of all, I would recommend what we did is do AdWords, do paid search, find which keywords you rank for, find the competitiveness of those keywords on paid search, and then translate them over to content writing in the SEO search. Write articles, write blogs, see what starts to rise, and then write more of them, and ultimately bring in an SEO firm. We did a lot of it organically ourselves, but at some point you will need to bring in an expert who can help you deal with the technical and links and the structure side of things.
Adam, what's the name of the SEO firm you used?
Effective Spend, based in Austin, Texas.
EffectiveSpend.com.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Huh. And they were good.
They are good. They do paid search. We've used them for paid search for many years. We brought them onto SEO a couple of years ago.
And when you say paid search, like they start off at how much are they managing per month for you?
They were managing about 13 to 13,000 a month in AdWords spend. Typically, I don't want to disclose their fee is. That's probably not allowed. But they charge a percentage of that, which is typical in the industry.
Very interesting. Yeah, 10 to 20% is usually pretty typical.
Yes. They're on the lower end of that range.
It's hard, a lot of founders listening right now, they go, I want to find an SEO firm, but all the agencies I've tried are trash. So it's hard to find ones that are really good. What have you done? Like what assets have you given effective expenses or
effective spend? Yeah,
effective spend where you think you've set them up for success?
Oh, that's a good question. I think working very honestly with them, being very transparent with them, they did it for an index of our website. They spent a lot of time researching it, analyzing it, looking at what was ranking. They also were our paid search vendor. So they knew which keywords were affordable and profitable and had a good ROI already. So it was actually easier bringing them in. I think also we spent a lot of time looking at the content on the pages and doing some partnership work where they would suggest pages that needed improving. We would write some of the content. The problem with an SEO vendor, especially in B2B, is they don't know your industry as well as you do. So they're not going to write such good content potentially, but you can write good content, but you don't know what to write, where to structure it. So having some organic writing resources combined with an SEO firm is paramount. You can't just say, here's my website, SEO it. That's, I think, unrealistic. And
very interesting.
And if you don't spend at least $5,000 a month on SEO, it's not worth spending anything.
So if you're not going to spend at least $5,000,
a firm that's not charging you at least $5,000 probably isn't going to make any difference to your ranking.
Very interesting. Okay, what year did you start working with Effective Spend?
For paid search, it's about 7 or 8 years ago. For SEO, it's only 2 years.
Wow, that's incredible. You rarely see relationships this long. You've been working with them for 7 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm, correct.
And how small were you in terms of revenue when you first started working with them?
Must have been 2 or 3 million a year.
Wow. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. How long did it take you for you to go, oh man, because at 2 million, spending 5 grand a month, you might be like, oh, this is
Oh,
really
what we
expensive.
did. No, that was it. That was the paid search. The paid search was only 10%. The lower range of your range percent. Just kidding. Yeah,
I
ten
see.
percent of the AdWords spend also has gone up. So back then we were already spending about 4 to 5 thousand in AdWords spend. They were managing that, and then we've now grown up to again 13, 14, where I said a thousand in AdWords spend. So a vendor like that is great because you can scale your spend with them as your AdWords builds up. And then once we hit a certain size, we're now able to afford, an SEO service that really was out of reach back then.
And how did you find them out of curiosity?
It's an interesting story, and we were working for another vendor with another vendor called Gary LSF. They were doing our AdWords and our some early SEO work, and they went out of business. And we found out that they'd actually outsourced all their work to these guys, and so we inherited them because they were the ones doing the work anyway. We're like, let's cut the middleman.
That's hysterical. Okay, very interesting. And take me back. You launched in 2006, first customer
Yes.
2007. What year was your first million in revenue?
So it would have been around, oh my goodness, 2010, 11, something around that. I have to go back in our records. And it was very hard to break that million. I mean, that was, I say, the hardest thing is to break the first million. I think then 5 is probably the next. But it's that I think that breaking the 1 million mark is the hardest of all, because I think what happens is you have to change everything you're doing. You can go from, everything can be online. It can all be self-service. You can have online trials. Once you get to a certain point, your customers will expect more hand-holding. And as a founder, you're used to doing everything, being kind of the jack of all trades. You got to start specializing. So hiring a customer success person, a partner person, people who do demos that aren't me, that was a big change. And you're going from basically the brains and the builder to being the manager and the coach.
Yeah, very interesting. How many folks are full-time on the team today?
Full-time today, or full-time equivalent, 50 full-time equivalents, about 40 full-time, plus some part-time.
Sorry, say that one more time. 40 full-time?
40 full-time plus 10 other, part-timers that.
I see. Of the 40, how many are engineers?
15 to 20.
15 to 20. Do you print money from this business?
So what's that?
Do you print money from this business?
At a company level, yes, but we reinvest most of it to grow the company. So as a personal level, not as much as I could, but I want to grow the business and build a long sustaining business with a great culture. So I'm actively reinvesting everything we can, apart from what I need.
Yeah. So what do you need? How low have you kept your living expenses?
We have a 2006 Subaru. That's one of the oldest cars on the team. I take the bus to work. Actually, mainly because I like to work on the bus and get things done. But I've stand on middle class existence. I haven't, we've got a kid going to college. Shout out to USC in a few months. So I got to pay enough to cover that. But my wife worked full time, which really helped. When I started the company, she works for the government, so that really helps having a working spouse who's can let you follow your dreams.
What's the largest M&A deal you've turned down?
Oh, for us to buy us. Honestly, we haven't pursued any. We've had people come close and talk to us about generally buying the company. The problem is that we don't really want to sell the company at the moment, and so we haven't gotten just to avoid distracting us. We haven't gone too far down that path. So we've talked to some people, but nothing's gone to the point where a number we've on the table really.
What kind of number would have to be out there where it's worth your time to be distracted to pursue the deal?
I think at this point, probably 50 to 100 million, something that we'd want to be the point where this was going to be, they're going to help take us to the next level as a company that we can't do ourselves. We're growing 50% year over year. We're making good revenue. We've got a strong culture. We'd have to be able to do that at scale. If we're just going to roll them into a large behemoth that's, for other companies, we don't want to do that.
Would you be open to something that's like 75 million, where 50% is cash, 50% is stock, and you keep running this thing and growing it together?
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, that'd be great. Very interesting. I think you might get some calls after this interview. We'll see. Okay, so again, just to be clear, totally bootstrapped today. You still own 100%. Any co-founders?
No, my wife and I mean, she technically is a part owner just to keep our marriage straight, but she doesn't really work in the company. I've got a leadership team, but no one has any equity. If we ever decide to go public or do something, we'd obviously figure out what to do with that. So that's something to think about: is what do you do when you've founded a company? You're gonna, you want to reward people long term. The problem with giving out stock when you're private and you're not, investor backed, is it's a lot of legal complications dealing with that, giving away private stock. So we have a good cash based compensation. We have a team bonus. We do things that are encouraging.
Wait,
for
Adam,
the
teach me
culture.
about that. So many
Okay.
bootstrappers go, Nathan, how do I set up a bonus for my employees? And I go, I don't know. I've never done it. How do you do it? What's the calculation?
What we do is every year we look at the profit target for the year for the company. We divide it by the number of employees. We obviously allow how much we want to retain. And then we say that funds the bonus pool. Look at the number of employees, give everyone based on their role a allocation of the bonus pool, and then at the end of each 6-month period, we say if say we were going to make X $1,000 in revenue, in profit, and we made it, everyone gets their full bonus for 6 months that they had in their pool. If we made 50% of our target, everyone gets 50%. But we have actually, on one thing, we have no sales commission, so everyone, even salespeople, are all on salary, and everything is a team bonus that the company makes as a whole. And for us, that's really important. It encourages that we work together as a team or synced as a team.
Mm-hmm. So last year in December, when you looked at this sort of 6-month thing, what was the profit pool at the end of 2021?
I can't give you the dollar number, but I can say we fully funded it for the year and for that 6 months period. And for
I see.
Prior.
Are we talking like $1 million or more like 500 grand you're splitting up?
The lower number, yeah, more.
Okay, lower. So just to run the math with hypothetical numbers, your target is $500,000 in profit last 6 months of last year. Correct. You hit it. Congratulations, check mark.
Correct.
You then take 500 grand divided by 40 people on the team.
It's not straight because some people, people make more money and have been longer, potentially have a higher, because when we give raises, we might give a raise in base, we might give a raise in bonus pool. So it's not as simple as everyone gets exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. How do you decide the multiplier or the percentage of the bonus pool that each person gets? What are the inputs?
Primarily it's the primary one is actually base salary. It's sort of a rough percentage of that, but it's also tenure. So it's a combination of those two factors, I would say.
And so if I'm making 100 grand as a senior engineer at Inflectra, you might say, okay, Nathan, you're eligible for 5% of 100 grand in the bonus pool. So 5K.
Probably more like 10 to 20, honestly.
Okay. So there's 10K. And then I've been there for, how do you decide the 10-year multiplier? Is it 10 years is one thing, 5 years is another?
It's not as formal as that being small. It's more like when we do a pay raise, we'll say, okay, you've had a great year. We're going to raise your base by X. And guess what? Your bonus will go from, say, 10,000 a year to 15. So it becomes more step function. It's not like a smooth graph. As we get bigger and more formalized with HR, we probably will do more of that. But right now, it's been very much you did a great year. You've achieved above and beyond. We're going to raise your base. We're also going to, because we want to incent you to work hard for the company, we'll raise your bonus pool by 5K, 10K. But it's definitely more lumpy than probably it would be in a larger company.
Really, really interesting. Okay, this is great. Let's wrap up here, Adam, with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite book.
Oh my goodness. Favorite book. I read so many books. I love them all. My mind's gone blank. Can we come back to that one a second?
I don't think I would ever get you with how this interview has gone. Your mind going blank. I think I've won the interview.
Man, I just love so many books. Goodness, I love. My last favorite one is Hatching Twitter, which I'm sure a lot of people have read. I love that book. I read the Guest List, which is a great thriller set on an island in the west coast of Ireland. It's a lot of fun. So I love all kinds of books. But those
there
are
you go. Number 2, is there a founder you're following or studying?
Oh, I love Richard Branson. I've always had a soft spot for him.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the business?
Oh my goodness. I do love Canva. I will say it's one of my favorites. Little side hustle. I love just noodling around with it.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
8.
And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married, 2 kids, 1 in college, 1 finishing college.
That's exciting. And one's going into USC.
Right? One's going to college and one's just finished college. Yeah. One's finished. Yeah. So I'll be an empty nester in about 2 months.
That's exciting. Okay. And how old are you?
47.
47. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
You'll have time for all of it. Don't worry about the order.
Guys, there you have it. Inflectra launched in 2006, 2007 got their first customer. Last year broke $8.6 million in revenue. This year breaking 10 million, growing almost 40-50% year over year. As a bootstrap SaaS company, Adam still owns 100%. Super rare. This guy's my kind of unicorn, right? This guy's my kind of unicorn. Profit sharing with the team, 40 people full time, 10 contractors, using paid search, all this stuff you sort of expect to scale nicely. And then just recently, launching relationships with partner networks. Again, helping you bring harmony to your software life cycle, tools for managing and testing all those applications. Adam, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you very much, Nathan. Have a good
one. One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.